Hello students, welcome to your English language class. Today we will be continuing the topic, the complex sentence. In part 1, we had learned difference between phrase and clause. We had also learned about simple, compound and complex sentences and discussed noun clause in detail. In this video, we will be doing adjective clause and adverb clause. After this lesson, students will be able to define and identify adjective clause, define and identify adverb clause. Adjective clause. An adjective clause, also known as an adjectival clause, is a type of dependent clause that works to describe a noun in a sentence. It functions as an adjective even though it is made up of a group of words instead of just one word. For example, they ate all the fruit which we had gathered. Now let us learn to identify adjective clause. So step 1 is to pick out the subordinating conjunction. The subordinating conjunction here is which, and the part that follows is a subordinate clause as it has its own subject we and predicate had gathered. So which we had gathered is a subordinating clause and they ate all the fruit is principal clause. Right? And which we had gathered also gives us information about the noun fruit. So this clause is acting as an adjective. Hence, it is an adjective clause. Similarly, see this example. This is the dog that bit him. So subordinating conjunction here is that, and the part that follows, that bit him, is subordinating clause. Now that bit him gives us the information about the noun dog. So hence that bit him is adjectival clause and this is the dog is main clause. Right? Students, adjective clauses begin with the words such as that, which, whose, where, when, who, etc. Basically, these clauses answer the questions that begin with which, who, when or what kind. Now, for example, chocolate, which many people adore, is fattening. In this sentence, which is a relative pronoun that is acting as a conjunction, and which many people adore also gives information about the noun chocolate. So, which many people adore is an adjective clause. Students, remember, we won't take is fattening as a part of subordinate clause because I have already told you that subordinate clause ends before a finite verb. So it will end before the finite verb is. And chocolate is fattening is a principal clause. Now see this example. People who are smart follow the rules. Again, here subordinating conjunction is who and the part that follows who are smart is subordinate clause. Here also we won't take follow the rules as a part of subordinate clause because it's follow is a finite verb. So subordinate clause will end before the finite verb follow. So who are smart is subordinating clause and people follow the rules is main clause. Right? So people who are smart follow the rules. Now here, who are smart is giving us information about the noun people. So hence it's an adjectival clause. Now students, sometimes adjective clauses begin with the conjunction but. So sometimes an adjective clause is introduced by but where it is equivalent to a relative pronoun followed by not. For example, there are few of us but love and honor him. So here, but is equal to who do not. So again, but here is a subordinating conjunction, and the part that follows, which is but love and honor him, is subordinate clause. Right? So we can also write the same sentence as there are few of us who do not love and honor him. Now similarly, see the next example. There was not a man but shed tears on his death. Again, subordinating conjunction here is but, and the part that follows but shed tears on his death is a subordinate clause. And there was not a man is a principal clause. Right? So again here we can also write the sentence as there was not a man who did not shed tears on his death. Now students, sometimes there are some cases when adjective clauses start with the word as. An expression like such as, the same as. It was such a day as I have rarely seen in England. So since as here is acting as a relative pronoun, so as I have rarely seen in England is an adjective clause. Why is an adjective clause? Because here as I have rarely seen in England is giving us information about the noun day. Right? So now see this example. I want the same kind of watch as I have lost. Again, the subordinating conjunction here is as. So the part that follows as I have lost is a subordinate clause, and I want the same kind of watch is a principal clause. So as I have lost is telling us the information about the noun watch. So as I have lost is adjective clause. So students, I hope you have understood adjective clause. Now let us understand what is an adverb clause. So an adverb clause is a group of words that is used to change or qualify the meaning of an adjective, a verb, or another adverb. All adverb clauses answer one of the classic adverb questions: when, why, how, where. So basically it does the work of an adverb in a complex sentence. Adverb clauses are of following categories. So number one is time, then is place, cause, purpose, result, concession, condition, and comparison. So number one on the list is adverb clauses of time. So these adverbial clauses answer the question when. Conjunction used are after, when, until, soon, before, once, while, as soon as, whenever, by the time, so long as, etc. Right? So examples are after the chores are done, we will eat some ice cream. So again, step number one is to identify the subordinating conjunction. So here, subordinating conjunction is after, and the part that follows after the chores are done is subordinate clause, and we will eat some ice cream is principal clause. So you can also ask the question, when will you eat ice cream? So the answer after the chores are done is adverb clause of time. Now similarly, see the second example. When the clock strikes midnight, she has to leave. Again, subordinating conjunction here is when, and when the clock strikes midnight is subordinating clause, and she has to leave is a principal clause. So here again, in order to identify adverb clause of time, you need to ask the question when she has to leave, right? So the answer when the clock strikes midnight is your adverb clause of time. Now students, adverb clauses of place. these adverbial clauses answer the question where. So conjunction used here are where, wherever, etc. So let's see this example. Wherever there is music, people will dance. So again, subordinating conjunction wherever, and the part that follows, wherever there is music, is a subordinating clause. So people will dance is a principal clause. Now again, in order to identify the adverb clause of place, you can ask the question, where will people dance? So the answer, wherever there is music. So wherever there is music is adverb clause of place. So similarly, see the next example. You can drop by for a visit where we are staying for the summer. So here again, where is a subordinating conjunction, and where we are staying for the summer is subordinating clause. And you can drop by for a visit is a principal clause. Now again, you can ask the question, where can you drop by for a visit? So the answer, where we are staying for the summer, is adverb clause of place. So students, next on the list is adverb clauses of cause. These adverb clauses answer the question why. Conjunction denoting cause or reason: because, as, since, so, in order that, now that, in as much as, etc. Now students, let us look at the examples. So she passed the course because she worked hard. So here again, the subordinating conjunction is because, and the part that follows, because she worked hard, is a subordinating clause, and she passed the course is a principal clause. Now, in order to identify the adverb clauses of cause, you can ask the question, why she passed the course? Okay, so because she worked hard. So because she worked hard is adverb clause of cause. Similarly, see this example. Since he has long hair, he wears a ponytail. So again, subordinating conjunction is since, and since he has long hair is subordinating clause, and he wears a ponytail is a principal clause. So again, you can ask the question, why does he wear a ponytail? So the answer, since he has long hair, is adverb clause of cause. Now students, coming up to adverb clauses of purpose. So these adverb clauses also answer the question why. Conjunctions denoting purpose are that, so that, lest, in order that, etc. Now students, remember one thing, that with conjunction that, so that, we use helping verb may or might dependent upon the tenses. And with the conjunction lest, helping verb use is should, right? So let us look at the examples. I die that India may live. So here again, that is a subordinating conjunction. So that India may live is a subordinate clause. So here again, why do I die? So answer, that India may live is adverb clause of purpose. So which basically the sentence is telling you that I am dying so that, right, India may live. It is actually giving us the purpose of dying here. So next is, he worked hard lest he should fail. Again, lest he should fail is a subordinating clause, and he worked hard is a principal clause. And again, you can ask the question, why he worked hard? So the answer, lest he should fail, is adverb clause of purpose. So here, lest is followed by should. Now students, next on the list is adverb clauses of reason. So these adverb clauses are introduced by subordinating conjunction as, because, since, that, etc. So see this example. As he was not there, I spoke to his brother. So again, why you spoke to his brother. So the answer, as he was not there, is actually giving us the reason of some act, right? So as is a subordinating conjunction. So the words following it, as he was not there, is a subordinating clause, and I spoke to his brother is a principal clause, right? And as he was not there is denoting as the reason, so it's an adverb clause of reason. So similarly, see the next example. He will succeed because he works hard. So again, here because is a subordinating conjunction, and because he works hard is a subordinating clause, and he will succeed is a principal clause. So here because he works hard again is giving us the reason of his success. Why will he succeed? Because he works hard is a adverb clause of reason. So next on the list is adverb clauses of condition. So these adverb clauses answer the question how, and conjunctions denoting conditions are if, whether or not, provided, in case, unless, even if, in the event, etc. So the example, if you save some money, you can buy a new game. So if you save some money is a subordinating clause, and you can buy a new game is a principal clause. So here again, how can you buy a new game? So answer to this question is if you save some money. So basically it is denoting as the condition that how can you buy a new game. So condition is if you save some money. So if you save some money is adverb clause of condition. So similarly, unless you hurry, you will be late for school. So again, you can ask the question to identify adverb clause of condition. How will you be late for school? So the answer is unless you hurry. So it is telling us the condition. So unless you hurry is adverb clause of condition. So next on the list is adverb clauses of concession. So these adverb clauses are introduced by the subordinating conjunctions although, though, even if, however, etc. So basically these are the opposite sentences. So you need to find out the subordinating conjunctions of contrast. So let us look at the examples. Even though you are 13, you can't go to that movie. So again here you need to find out the subordinating conjunction. So subordinating conjunction here is even though, and we know that even though is a subordinating conjunction of contrast. So even though you are 13 is clause of concession, right? And you can't go to that movie is a principal clause. So similarly in the next sentence, although you gave it your best effort, you did not win the match. So here again, although is a subordinating conjunction of contrast. So although you gave it your best effort is a subordinating clause of concession. So student, next on the list is adverb clause of comparison. So and students, adverb clauses of comparison are of further two types. Adverb clause of degree and adverb clause of manner. So adverb clauses of comparison of degree are introduced by the subordinating conjunction than or by the relative adverb as. So example, I earn more than he does. So than he does is a subordinating clause, and than denotes that it is the subordinating conjunction of comparison. So than he does is an adverb clause of comparison. So similarly, you are not more intelligent than he is. So again, than is a subordinating conjunction of comparison. So than he is a subordinating clause, and you are not more intelligent as principal clause. As than is a subordinating conjunction of comparison, so than he is adverb clause of comparison. So number 2, on the list of adverb clause of comparison is manner. Adverb clauses of comparison of manner are introduced by subordinating conjunction as if, as, though. So, let us see the example. You may do as you please. So, again, as is a subordinating conjunction of manner. So, as you please is an adverb clause of comparison. It all ended as we expected. So, as we expected is a subordinating clause, and as denotes that it's a subordinating conjunction of comparison, that is manner. So, as we expected is adverb clause of comparison. So, let us look at one more example. As you have made your bed, so you must lie on it. So, again, as you have made your bed is subordinating clause, and as is a subordinating conjunction of comparison, that is manner. So, as you have made your bed is a subordinating clause, and as you have made your bed is an adverb clause of comparison. So, students, I hope you have understood adjective clause and adverb clause very well. So, that's all for today, and please solve the exercises given in your SNAP homework. Thank you.